Hey guys, Summer1992 here of Retribution Gaming. Today I'm joined by Wolf and Atlantis.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hello. How are we today?
Lovely. So Atlantis, for people listening, most people
We
know
have
who you are that play Wayfinder, but for those that don't, intro yourself. Let us know what got you into content creation, what got you into Wayfinder. Plug yourself, buddy.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
it.
Well, I just want to say thank you to you guys for the invite. I caught your last podcast with Tempter, and it was a lot of fun. And then I went back and watched some of your other ones that I missed, and you guys do a great job. So thank you so much for the invite. I currently make Wayfinder videos, guides, just news videos for YouTube. I do a little bit of streaming, but not too much, just because I want to make sure I can focus on YouTube. But I really enjoy playing Wayfinder. I'm pretty much addicted to it, probably like you guys, and I'm all in on that. So I really appreciate all the support from the community, and it's just been a lot of fun. So thank you again
No,
for having me, guys.
No, the
no, thank you
pleasure's
so much
all
for being
ours.
here. We're like super excited to have you here and to make this all happen. So very, very excited. Yeah. So like, how did you like first? I'm like before we get into like the whole podcast and everything, but like, how did you get into Wayfinder? Like, what were you doing before Wayfinder, I guess, and then what kind of steered you into this direction?
Well, my very first couple of videos that I was putting up on YouTube, I played a lot of FPS games, FPS and
Hmm.
MMOs mostly. But at the time, I was
Right,
playing
right.
Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone.
Hmm.
And so I was like, oh, I'll just put some no commentary gameplay clips so I don't have to write scripts or, I don't
Hmm.
have to talk on videos. And then I like to do
Yeah.
montages as well, or like edits for videos. And so I was putting that
Hmm.
up. And then Wayfinder, oddly enough, I never got into some of the earlier betas, and my friends did, and
Yeah.
I got to,
Ah, okay.
hear, I got to hear about how they liked it. And then
Yeah.
um, I so this is a funny story. I had my previous PC. I got into I
Mm.
think one of the final closed betas or one of the
Right,
final
right.
tests, and I started on this in the tutorial, and I just
Mhm.
couldn't play. I was lagging. I kept crashing,
Oh,
and
no.
part of it was my computer too because I struggled in other games to do the
Yeah, yeah.
same. And so I was like,
Mhm.
well, I can't play this game. I played like 13 minutes worth. But then over time, after I upgraded my PC, I just kept coming back to Wayfinder and seeing, videos at the time on it in the dev talks. And I just thought it
Mhm.
looked really cool. It had a lot of cool concepts. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take
Yeah.
another chance. I got a new PC now. Maybe I could play it. And
Yeah.
then and I've loved
And then
it
it's still
since.
DC.
Well, oh yeah, well, yeah, let's we at least we're past that initial phase for a little
No.
bit, but
Yeah, yeah. You stuck through the initial phase and yeah, it just you s and I think
right.
that's the beauty of the game, right? Like, even though how many issues we get with it, if you I think for the core fans, if we love it for, like, its beauty of
Right.
the game and the mechanics, the battles, it's so fun. It's just like a refreshing take, and I think
Yeah.
that seems to be the story for most people anyway.
Oh yeah, it really is. It's a
Mhm.
blast. I
Mhm.
enjoy it and really excited for the future, and I think it just has so much potential. So really excited for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No, no, no. I'm very excited. And then, like, I guess this is the perfect segue into like, what are your thoughts on the game so far, and like, the opinions you have. 'Cause it's been a good like almost 2 months now. So like, from the start, like the journey of the game, like, what do you think? How the get like how the game is going, and like the roadmap that the devs have like kind of presented. Like, just give your thoughts about that.
Sure. Um,
Hmm.
I I I really like the aspect of an account progression system. I was
Hmm.
talking with Tom before, and I played World of Warcraft a lot and a lot of other MMOs,
Yeah.
but I've always been a
Hmm.
one character type of person, so I pretty much always played a rogue.
Yeah.
And
Yep, nice, nice.
yeah, and I just, my friends would have alts or different characters, and I had rogue, and then if I had an
Mm.
alt, it was another rogue just to have another
Yep,
another
yep.
rogue. But I hated like I never wanted to start over. I just wanted to keep playing my one character that I've been playing,
Mhm.
and so that was one thing I didn't like about those games is if for whatever
Mm.
reason you needed to re-roll, you lost everything. And so one of the biggest draws for me initially to Wayfinder was the
Mhm.
everything works together towards your like
Yeah.
account. So if I want to play this character for a second,
Mhm.
it's still going to benefit my other characters, whether I'm leveling
Yep.
a weapon
Mhm.
I really just like how intertwined all the systems are, and I'm not punished for wanting to try a different character. If anything, it's helping, especially with the new, you asked about the roadmap. So with the archetype system and talents and the weapon mastery system, when you level up weapons, that's going to give your other weapons power. If you level up your, both survivalists, you're going to have like benefits for those survivors. So I think that whole concept is awesome.
No, I agree, and it's like I'm the exact same you. Like I do not. If I like something, I'll do everything to like min max it. But
Yeah.
if the class like I hate, I will never touch it with like a 10 feet fall. Like it's just like I don't want to, and like it's a love hate relationship. Like I love that initially that dev and stuff like and the devs like solid in them like tried to make me play Senja because I was like she's gonna be an awesome character. Just some 30-second Senja hate so I can, like just feel a bit better. And then I played her and then I got it to like level 30 and I was like, I hate my life. I hate every inch of my life.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like,
mm.
so when you were just talking now, I was thinking, so you hate Sandra then, right?
Dude, it was like getting her to level 30 was it was a week. It was a long week.
Yeah, oh yeah, I bet.
But no, but I'm still glad that they do that because like I think that's how you get like the most out of the game, right? Especially in early access, we're getting so much content, just like doing all these other characters, learning all these other play styles, and it's something I genuinely do enjoy about the game. And at the back of my head, it just makes me want to do it because I know this is going to benefit my favorite character at the end.
Yeah, oh, I'd like to jump in there too. I agree with you, and even to your point, I feel like they do a good job at kind of making you want to try the other characters. I played a game. I played Smite. I don't know if you guys ever played Smite before, but it's a ton of characters, and even in that game, like I played it the exact way you're not supposed to play. I stuck to one mage, never learned any of the other types. I was just literally queuing in. And I never wanted to learn any of the other. I knew that, I understood that to be more well-rounded in the game, you're supposed to. But Wayfinder, I feel like I want to have all of the characters maxed. I want to know the ins and outs of each character. I think they do a good job at that. So
no. It just makes it good that like the battle system is fun or the battle mechanic. So once I get like solid to 30, like I'm like, okay, now let's try like then like and all the different like weapon builds is like another layer of like fun that you can have. Like it's a lot to do. In my opinion. How about you, Tom? Like what are your thoughts about it all? Like do you enjoy like leveling up everything? Like you just kind of like want to stick to like Wingrave and Pyros? Knowing Tom.
For me personally, I would prefer to like stick to the those two. Like Venomous is great. I was going around with her for a bit. Senja's where it got really unfun. I was expecting to have, a similar feeling that I would have with Wingrave, like or some parts there. There's little hints of it, but the kit is underwhelming. Now there's people right now that are saying Senja's good with a Titan's Bane on.
Yeah.
That's Titan's Bane, okay? That's Titan's Bane. That's not Senja. Like, I can do the same thing on a Wingrave right now. I can make Wingrave look really good by sticking Titan's Bane on him. That don't make it good. Like her kit is weak.
Yeah.
And there's a reason the devs are like they've said they're gonna
reworking her.
Yeah.
Like anyone saying Senja's in a good spot right now, like no, there's a reason she's getting a rework. Okay, like she's not good right now.
They just haven't played Reaver Woods yet.
I got to 29 and I was farming Beastmaster with her, and it's kind of like this is hell because this would be like, easier on a Wingrave doing the same stuff and even faster time. I mean, I would sooner still take Kairos in his nerf state as he is right now with I'd sooner even still running with Epitaph over Senja right now. Like that's how bad Senja is to me. I would sooner take Epitaph, which right now is in a bad state, than run Senja.
Okay. So we were hoping for a really good rework of Senja. So she's gonna go from like the F to like the S class essentially for next season, which is a goal. Because
Yeah.
I would ideally, in a perfect world, like love to play Senja again and open a character, but yeah, probably after a good content update.
I don't hate the character, like the design. Like I don't hate how she looks
Mm,
or anything like that. It's
mhm.
not because she's a female character or anything like that. It
No,
is
no.
basically her skill 1 and
Mhm,
her skill 2, and there's
mhm,
too much stopping and going, taking hits in
mm,
between, and no self-sustain to combat that, or
mhm.
damage reduction just to make it even worth it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. So when I'm doing these skills, I'm stopping. I'm not hitting the boss. I'm not killing them. They're
Mhm.
hitting me.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Where's the trade-off here?
yep.
Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
none. Or if there is meant to be a
Mm,
trade-off, it's
mhm,
not being felt right now. It's pretty
mm.
ineffective.
No, no, of course. Have you played like Senja a little bit, Atlantis? Like, I don't know where you are with the game.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Tom there in the sense that the
Mm,
showboating mechanic. Well, first, actually, I think
mm.
I know we may or may not be having a tier list segment coming up,
Yes,
but
yes,
I do
yes.
agree. I mean, one of the biggest things I think
Mm,
weapons. That's kind of what makes this whole tier list interesting
mm,
because the weapons
mhm.
in them themselves are also pretty
Yeah.
significant modifiers. But I agree with Tom in the sense that I really like
Mhm,
Senja's pool.
mhm.
Um, that sets up, Titan's Bane weapon ability right away, or Bullet Storm
Yep,
from Tempest. Like, there's a couple things that sets up really well. But I
yep.
do feel that, her Gladiator's Pummel, it just feels odd to do an attack and then stop, potentially
Mhm.
put yourself in basically harm's way to build something so that you can continue attacking when
Yep, yep.
other characters kind of just can go. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Like,
Yep.
there's not that
By the
that
time like you charge up and like do all your showboaty stuff, like like the boss is dead.
yeah,
Like like
or
what did I
the
build up all this? Yeah.
right, or the
Mhm.
decay on the showboating, might be a
Yeah.
little bit quick at times too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think it's cool concept. I
Mm,
also think that it may be just a thing that has to do with we only
mhm.
have 6 characters, and
Yeah.
maybe
Yep.
as the roster fleshes out and raids come out and heroics come out, maybe
Mm,
some of these characters that aren't can't just go and solo as
mhm.
well. Maybe they
Yeah.
find a
Yep.
more defined role. But I do agree. I'm excited to see what they're going to change for the toolkit in general for her.
Exactly. No, no, it's gonna just benefit the community anyway. It's just gonna be more content when Senjo's fixed. So I'm very looking forward to it. We might just do the tier list like now, may as well, like while we're here, and then we'll just switch the schedule around a little bit. But no, I think yeah, well, a lot on the topics of Wayfinders and how many like have you played through everyone or like because I know you have to balance like content creation and also playing the actual
Oh
game as
yeah.
well. So
Yeah, that's been the biggest struggle. Normally, I'm like hardcore,
mm,
what
yep.
some would call a sweat in the game, trying to get as much as I can. But yeah, I,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really I really enjoy the content creation side, but it's definitely taken a
Mm.
big slice of time play. So get home from
No,
work, and
and
then
so like you're doing all this, you're doing work, you're playing the game hardcore as much as you can.
yeah.
So I just want to ask you, how the hell are you on top of like all the news? Like every time like the news is announced, I just go on YouTube and the Times just made a video about it. It's just like at 4K. Like
I'll be honest.
how do
There's
you do this?
it's been a combination of early on. I may or may not have stayed up till 3 a.m. trying to edit, and then
Oh
3 hours later have to go to work. And then,
yeah,
but
yeah.
no, it's just I try. Sometimes I have a little window at work where I can
Yep.
get a script going. If like I check Discord and there's
Oh,
already a
okay.
patch, and I'm like, okay, I got to write
Yep.
this now, so that when I get home I can actually
Jeez.
edit. But
Yeah, right, right, yeah.
I'm
No,
I'm
that's
looking.
dedication.
I'm looking forward to the holidays because then I can actually play a lot.
Mm.
But yeah,
No,
I've
no,
tried
that's
all the
really good.
characters.
Hmm.
I tried all the
Oh, this is good.
characters, some more than
Yeah.
others.
Of
Um,
course.
I did play Senja, and like I
Hmm.
mentioned, I do like her pool. I think the pool ability is probably one of the coolest abilities
Mm.
across all of the characters, honestly. Um,
Hmm.
my first character was Nis, and then I switched to Kairos, leveled up Kairos, got
Yeah.
Venomous Max, and
Nice.
they're all somewhere around
Mm.
22s, and hopefully going pretty quick now with
Yeah.
Ryvn, you know,
Yeah,
which I fully expect to
it's
change soon. But um,
yes. like we can. Yeah, I was going to ask you about it, but we can do this after this because I do want to bring up the Ryvn stuff in a little bit.
Right. Sure. No, so okay, tier list.
Yeah.
I feel a ton of pressure when it comes to tier list because
Yep.
one, we know it's subjective. Like there's someone that's going to
100%.
play Senja probably better than anybody we put in S tier because they're just that good.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
there's, it's not to say that it can't be possible. I feel like tier lists are more along like maybe the most on average, like average
Yep.
players, what's most common.
Yep.
So
Yep.
don't hate me. I get it. There's probably like players that are
Yeah.
pulling off anything.
Mhm.
But since
But
I had to make one,
you have to
I
make one.
think
Yep, you're on the hot seat now.
yeah, this is definitely a hot seat. And to Tom's point too, I think weapons, like you can have a character and
Yep.
then switch out a weapon and it just instantly changes. But
Yep.
and the last caveat I want to put is like
Mm.
I'm excited to see like how solo play changes with group play later on and when we have our
Yeah.
characters and raids and stuff. But right now, I think I would go with Venomous, definitely up S tier.
Yes. Yes,
think-
agreed.
Yeah, she just has like a well-rounded toolkit. Mobility that leaves essentially healing gas or dot gas, whatever you want to spec into. She has self heals. She has the one of the things that another reason. Obviously, her damage is really good. Her output, her mastery is insane with crit. Letting you just
that crit masteries is
especially with daggers. So it allows you to just pump into power and weapon power, ability power, whatever build you want to go. But I think another thing just pushes her to the top is the ability to heal her teammates as well. Because Kairos has self healing as well, but I think that's where Ven takes over. Is that you can heal yourself, or you can pop a nice big heal for two people who are needed that are just got hit by a bone breaker or something.
And we just need a quick heal.
Yeah.
Or bone binder, and you're like lagging, and you can't get your heal sometimes. So that clutch heal comes in really handy.
Right. But I definitely. I'm sorry, Tom. You want to jump in?
I was just going to say, I find her her skill 2, heal outside of combat's pretty big when playing with groups.
Oh, the poison cloud one?
Like if especially when you're leveling up in Hollow Heart, right?
Yeah.
If you've busted all your potions.
Oh yeah.
Because there's been people we've been playing with that have done that. And kind of just essentially carry them through still. Like it's been great on that front.
Well, that's a great point about the potions. That's a great point that I didn't even really consider them the tier list, but being able to conserve potions because you have that heal, whereas you're running this, you got to heal. You have to make a choice. You're gonna use it or
oh my god, yeah. No, exactly.
That's a good point.
Or die. Like the only problem with this is she's a Ven without healing, right? And then with a I think with significantly like less ability like power damage output. So it's just that's just why Nis just drops off a little bit hard coming into late game, whereas like Ven thrives in I think scenarios because she her damage output is good, probably the same as Nis, but the healing is just takes her into another level with the mobility. It's just it's great. And then obviously she has like that poison like lore behind her, which is really nice too. You get poison damage over time, which is really good.
Yeah, I think she just has it all in a way. Vampiric Blast that heals is just awesome. But
that's just Vampiric Blast is disgusting heals.
Yeah, but it's just like she has abilities that are twofold, right? Does damage and does healing, and so so she's up there for me as far as S tier. Probably my personal favorite. I think I'm gonna go with, and this is where it gets again. Please don't hate me. I know there's players playing all of them really well. But I would go with, honestly, for A tier, I would go with Silo and Wingrave. I feel like Silo just has obviously really, really high crit innately. Abilities are nice, easy to use, friendly to use, do pretty good damage. Work well together.
Nothing flashy. They just you just go in and do your job with abilities, and then just do other stuff with Silo.
And then in his ult, is pretty solid, lasts a decent amount of time. I think another reason, and we probably don't see a lot of use of it right now, maybe, especially if you play solo, you might see it, but his taunt, I feel like, is one of the reasons why I want to put him up there. Sometimes it can be a little like it doesn't work 100% of the time as like I would imagine, but it's still, it's really nice to be able to drop. And if you need to peel teammates or you need to peel for yourself,
that taunt is a lifesaver.
Yeah, and I think that for me personally, being able to add anything to your group is why I'm going to put some of them a little bit higher than some of the other characters. Especially as we go into heroics, right? Like I'm assuming that's going to be hard content. You need to have a well-rounded group for that. So Wingraves.
Well, that's what I like about.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to add like one last point. I think like that's like I think like on paper like Silo is just very easy to play, but like I think the challenge comes in where you need to actually support your team with Silo. Like that's where he really shines, and through that it's just going to be using your debuffs all the time. So making sure the enemies are like debuffed all the time with either oil bomb or a fire bomb,
right?
And then do the combination to get your attacks at the same time, right? So that's where the challenge is. And I think once you master that, he just becomes like so good for the team. And then, as you said, like the protoclone is just like it's a no-brainer. It's just like you pop that up, save your teammates are dying, or like who got one-shotted, or like if you're farming town or pyre, like you just throw that up.
In res,
it's just so good.
Yeah, like being able to res off a taunt is really nice. That's a good point too.
No, exactly, but.
Sometimes, in a similar situation, similar in this, the like lack of healing can be, but I just feel Silo's abilities are a little bit more safe because you're not dashing through targets, right? You're not, so it's not as like apparent. But yeah, no, the taunt reses though, Wolf. That's a good one.
That's it's a nice gig, but yeah.
After that,
you're saying Wingrave.
Yeah, I have Wingrave. Honestly, I've seen a lot of cool builds already for Wingrave, and I think Tom was even having a pretty cool one going. But I think Wingrave has a well-rounded kit as well for the most part. You slide off heals, like being able to just nullify break bars if you wanted to. Depending on what weapon combo too you add to that. I think his ult is pretty huge. It's it's just an immunity, maybe conceptually or even aesthetically, it might not be like the most unique thing, but unpractical. Like being able to say, "Hey, I got these next." I forget however long it lasts, but I have this window to just go to town and not have to worry about anything or get reses or just for your group. It's just really beneficial, and so I think his offensive capabilities are there. His defensive, group play is there. So I kind of have him right next to Silo, and I've enjoyed messing with Wingrave for a little bit too.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
If the group content was out, let's say raids were out, right, and he was mainstream, like let's say the content demanded him. For me, he would actually go up to S. But it's only because the group like the raids and that aren't out, but he sits at A for me as well. But the shield, I was because we've just put out the Dread Legion guide today at the time of recording.
Yeah, please check it out if you guys need help farming Dread Legion. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Check out the Dread Legion video. Like, if you find it hard, trust me, it's going to be your new plaything by the time you've gone through that video. Just watch around 8 minutes. Just watch 8 minutes at least.
Definitely have to check it out.
You'll see when I after the guide part of that video, you'll see the shield comes into play more, especially when we're doing solo tier 4 Dread Legion, because that last phase gets a little tight. So what's really nice about him is you can pop your shield up, like group the enemies together, as best you can, and then pop that shield up, and you can just go around orb, just really shorten that last phase down, and just makes that fight a little more easier. No one really wants to deal with that third phase, everyone likes the space of the first and
My
second.
only gripe with that entire fight is please, devs, if you're listening, please, there's the last jump where you have to cross to the last bit. Please make the platforms more noticeable when they're off. I think I spent like an hour trying to like figure out if the platform is like visible, like you can like jump on it, or if you can't, because it just looks the same. Please just fix that for me, and then that boss is so fine.
You know what? When I made that Dread Legion video, Wolf, because me and you had spoke about it before, right? I purposely included close-up photos of the platform disappeared in that. With arrows.
Yeah.
With arrows.
Yeah, oh my god. Even
Just to
still,
make
like,
it easier. I thought I had you in my mind when I made that. I was like, how
Thank
can I
you.
get someone like you who can't see these platforms? How can I make this easier?
It's just, oh my god, it's just every time I would just die there for an hour and then I just needed some parts. It's just like, anyways, it's okay. It's okay. We'll learn from the video and we'll get good. That's it.
Wow, not my words, okay? I never said that to you.
No, it's just it's a fun time learning platform jumps. I hate platform jumping, and it's just, oh my god, it's been a challenge, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Quick off-topic question to
Mm.
Atlantis. How did you find your first time at Dread Legion?
Oh man, that was it was brutal. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually I was playing with two good friends. So
Yeah.
and yeah, we may have missed the platforms quite a bit. The poison, honestly, if I remember correctly, they changed the poison. Maybe not. I know they changed the zombies and the amount of like how the mobs were working, but we died to. Well, the poison was a headache for that
Yeah.
first time till we figured out all that. But
Mhm.
honestly, yeah, it was fun but frustrating until we
Yeah.
finally figured out we know what we need to do. Now I will say I feel like Sphere 4, and I'm really excited to see your video because I'm sure you have some really cool stuff in it. For me personally, I feel like Sphere 4 particularly, the other spheres aren't as noticeable since they're easier. But if you're doing it solo with the zombies, like you said, it gets tight. The concentration of zombies when you're solo on Sphere 4, when you run it with a group, and it spreads them out, it just feels significantly more, easier, simple to deal with.
Okay.
So I kind of look forward to running Sphere 4 with a group versus solo, just for that reason.
Yeah.
The one thing I noticed on Sphere 4 compared to the other spheres as well was the third phase when you go to burn the boss, that white circle that there's the boss's area actually grows smaller the whole time and it would just disappear. So I
wow.
never noticed it. I never noticed it on the other spheres because he just melts quick. But on this sphere, like if you're too low on DPS, if you're trying to do this on a really kind of like bad build or whatever, you're kind of really shit out of luck. Like that's the fight. You kind of then start taking ticking damage, and you'll see that in the video as well. Even with Titan's Bane and Wingrave, I still start to take ticking damage at the end.
Oh wow.
And I wasn't going too slow on that. Like it's not the one shot Kairos thing, but I know it's a Wingrave and stuff, but still, like, there's probably people out there that haven't kind of thought, well, maybe I should put 9k into weapon power. Perhaps they've gone defensive stats, and if they have, it's going to hurt them.
Yep.
Especially if they're if they're at 1k HP. Oof.
It's rough.
It's very rough. But yeah, no, that's a nice little tangent we went off there. But Wingrave is 8 after all this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, we're forgetting one of the most important parts about Wingrave. Radiant Pulse clearing Flora mutators.
Oh, yes. I haven't used Flora in a long time, but how good is
just a nice little put the cherry on top for Wingrave. That's
yes, that puts him up to A. Yes, that's a cherry. That seals the deal.
Yeah. I guess to continue, I really liked Kairos leveling up.
Yes.
I never took, did the one shots. I knew they were going around. But obviously Radiant Siphon was still overbuffed, before the fix essentially. And I really I feel like he has a cool mix of abilities, being able to self-heal is a big plus. Now, if he could off-heal other groups, then I would bump him up just for that reason, like if his healing could, be similar to Venomous, but I like his rake healing. I think Radiant Siphon, it being tied into like an AoE damage, but also a debuff is really cool. Tom and I were talking earlier, and he brought the point that maybe he thinks that might be, might need a little bit more of a damage debuff. Maybe they brought it down too far. I kind of agree. I feel like it's cool to feel a change when you use that ability and then see a hit. But I think he has a cool toolkit, but I just find it lacking compared to, Venomous for sure. You do just as much damage, honestly, and way safer with her
you
abilities.
Feel more safe with Van.
Yeah.
100%. So can we get like a rank?
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. So
I just want you to say it, so Tom, I just know how Tom's feeling.
I already know. He's already told me.
I have Ven at S, and it's Silo Wingrave A, and then I have Kairos at B+. Like, I don't have them very far from each other. I think
Okay.
I think they're all comparable in a way, but yeah, B+.
Can I bring Tom
I mean,
in
you know what? I've actually got to give him it because after we put him in S tier when our tier list went out, and this was before he got fixed and the epitaph got kind of gutted and stuff. And then I mentioned in the pin comments that I'd bring him down to an A. And then I had some
I brought him down to an A, yeah.
See, and there was one comment that sticks in my mind on that was there was one guy saying that he can still do some good damage. I think he was talking about doing over 100k. You can probably if you invest in a lot of crit power, but that comes at a cost, right? So that either comes at the cost of survivability. Or that comes at the cost of raw damage, where you're taking off the ability power. So, and to rely on crit when you don't know the crit rating in this game, and you can't get those crits reliably anyway, given the builds that are currently out and everyone's running. Relying on that to do a fifth or Dread Legion to try and skip that, pretty rough.
You're not going to get that consistency, right?
Yeah, if it's not consistent, if you can only pull that off, let's say out of 20 runs, you can pull that off one time. That don't make him good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It makes that run good. It doesn't make him
Makes
good.
for a nice YouTube video, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So everything in a tier list should be all about consistency. If you can pull it off all the time and other people can pull it off, if you're recommending a build and you're saying, look, he can do this, this, and this, it shouldn't be based on once in a blue moon.
One-off. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think just based on his abilities as well, the one gripe I have with him is I think it's his mark ability. I just wish it did a little bit more. It's where you mark the enemy for 8 seconds and then the bomb. Yeah, it's just very lackluster compared to his other abilities, and I feel like if that mark debuff people, as you said, it would just be more useful. Because right now it just feels like that I just barely use that that ability, and it just seems wasted, especially when something is missing from Kairos. It's I think that's going to be the fundamental way to change him a little bit. Either change his ability or do something about the ability where you either heal more or you debuff more or something like that.
So my issue with the mark is this, right? Its buffed ability should be its default, and it should have a bit of range to it. Kind of have to cast it right on top of the enemy to get the non-traded version to hit, right? And even then, it's kind of 50-50. Some bosses just will not get marked up on that. In terms of the damage, though, Wolf, right? I was talking to Atlantis a bit before recording this, and so at the moment, stuff got fixed. It's skill 2, 10%. Okay, that's great, but we've gone from 100%, 100% to 10%.
Yeah.
And this is where he starts feeling a little lacking to people now, because and this is kind of in the same boat, I feel. And I was talking to Atlantis, and I'll let Atlantis come to this in a bit on that. But the thing is, I feel like both him and this should be a little buff. These are characters, they take more damage than most people. If this was an MMO, these are the light armor class. So there needs to be some payoff here. Okay, there needs to be some payoff. And right now for both Nis and Kairos, doesn't really feel like much of a payoff. In saying that, though, Epitaph right now is gutted, so you are missing some AP there. But then again, you do have Typhoon, which is the next best thing to the Epitaph in terms of that playstyle. But I don't know. For me, I feel like he could probably, if you could take that Siphon Radiant up to, let's say 30%. Let's give it a 20% more buff. Okay, so it goes from 10 to 30. That might be better than taking it from 100 down to 10. Because right now,
10%, yeah, they might have
not feeling
overcorrected, right?
yeah, it's not feeling that great. And like there are some bosses right now. Well, I can take a Wingrave and a Typhoon. Just do the job better. Like, just do it faster.
You get more damage from a Wingrave than a DPS character.
Yeah, keep in mind, I want, like, for people listening, I want you to know, like, where I'm at on both my builds, okay? Kairos is decently built. Sits at around, I think, 12, almost 13k AP. I've got Wingrave. He's got some decent echoes in. But he's not finished. He's nowhere near being finished. Like, the echoes I need, and I need to farm slots and accessories and blah. That's all missing from him. Like, he's far from being min-maxed. And the fact that he can come above a decently geared Kairos and, and go over the top and kill times and stuff is a little worrying. Considering Kairos is the DPS.
No, I agree on that. Yeah, no, I think
that also is Titan's Bane doing a lot of the bulk work.
Titan's Bane is a beast.
Titan's Bane is a beast.
But I couldn't put Titan's Bane on Kairos without gutting the AP. So, like, what do you want me to do with Kairos here? Like, where's the ability power alternative here? Like,
no, for sure. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the devs will monitor it, and hopefully they do make that correction. By season 2 or at least by free-to-play time. But
I will say, like, I think Kairos. Back to your comments on Arcane Focus, the bomb type ability. I think that's just another reason why I feel like Venomous, you can get in, you have a way out if you need to, like, you want to drop the poison on enemies, and you can still kind of use it to get out of, run to the enemies and then mobility away, but you still drop it on them. Whereas Kairos is a little bit less mobile, so you run to the enemies to make sure you get Arcane Focus up. Well, you're not going to leap away. I mean, you always you could dash. Everybody has dash, but assuming your dash is down or you don't have momentum, your toolkit doesn't allow you to do that. Rake is stationary. Now the self heals are great. I mean, there's no doubting that. And Hand of Reckoning still does good damage. So, there's that. I feel like Kairos is still great in like a group play where he doesn't have to be the first one in or like solo. If you're in a group and you could just go to town safely with abilities and then use your weapon and you got your abilities up, he's still monstrous. I just personally just kind of have about the
you make a great point. Like, that's the gripe I had with him. Like, when I was doing my tier list with Kairos, is like, when you go in, you do all your abilities and stuff, and it's great. You do so much damage, but then, like, you're out of abilities, so you can't heal with your rakes and stuff that you said. And then your stamina, after 3 dashes, good luck trying to get your stamina back up. Now you got, like, 3-4 people surrounding you, and you're like, what do I do now?
Right.
And it's just and that's just like a really big downfall I see, and he just gets very squishy. And then it's not fun after that.
See, that's why I thought the damage trade-off would be, though. Like, I saw him as a bursty, so you come in, do the burst, and then kind of have that downtime to kind of balance it out. At the moment,
well,
I'm not really finding his burst is like, I don't know, like, how you feeling on that, Atlantis? Like,
I also feel like when doing a tier list, I mean, this is a cool thing and something, honestly, is probably impossible to nail down, right? It's what makes tier lists so cool, and you can every week you can put something new. But you essentially, and I thought of this when you were talking about builds and the videos and the one-shot videos. I mean, there's tier lists for, are we talking Beastmaster? Are we talking tier list for Hollow Heart, Sphere 4? You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be characters that kind of shine in different elements as well.
Exactly.
The thing, one of the reasons why I've kind of Well, one, I'm still leveling, so that's the most obvious reason why I haven't been able to do build videos like I want to, and I haven't. My accessories are not dropping with the attack slots that I want. But a lot of videos, and I started to do one with Ven, and I did the same thing. But for Beastmaster, for example, you can go in, you can build, grab daggers, build your weapon ability fully powered, so you have it's ready to go, and then die.
Yep.
And then you spawn in, and so then now you press record for your clip, right? Your video that shows whatever weapon you're using, how insane it is, because you pop your consumables, you use your fully. There's no downtime, and it makes it look like you beat a boss in 5 seconds. That's great at showing burst, right?
Yeah,
that shows burst, and that's something perfectly fine to show. So you can see different burst speeds. But does it really say like about the whole toolkit? How does that character do in a Hollow Heart 4 when they have to manage different things versus just like a burn phase, for example?
A burn phase. No, exactly. And I think like when I think me and Tom do the list, or we ask people, it is to keep that broader picture in mind and being like, just not in boss fights, like in generally when you do dungeons and like how it like helps the team and group play and like solo play. We try to keep those things factored as well.
I like to kind of picture it as it all. Like I think some of the Warframe tier lists I've watched over the years, it's been a couple of guys that have gone for the very specifics, but then there's been guys that have rated a Warframe based on how much content they can do and how well they can do it.
Yeah,
I feel like eventually something like that might come into it, especially more when raids and rogue hunts are down the line, and you're gonna kind of like this wolf like Wayfinder's great for this, but really lacks in every other department. So is it really an A-frame because it does that one thing well? Probably not, right? So I kind of when I'm making the tier list for myself, it's like I looked at just how much of the stuff could they do effectively well,
right,
and try and balance it like that. But it's again, like, everyone's got a different approach and opinion. You're never gonna win, and your tier list is never gonna be 100% correct to anyone. So
right. There's someone out there that hates Ven. Ven is the worst ever, and it literally makes us all look bad while playing Senja. So
yeah,
it's perfectly okay.
Shout out to you, dude. Whoever's out there.
Well, I guess to finish up real quick, I mean, we pretty much touched on Senja. I also have Nis on B+, just similar, great raw output as far as damage from Nis. Like it's mobility is great, almost twofold in the sense that you have to, part of her kit is getting into the action and getting out. So the better you can do that, the probably higher she goes up your tier list for you personally. But just the lack of healing and lack of it's pretty much it's all for her. She's not bad by any means, and there's some crazy builds just like any of the other characters. But I have her as B+, and then like we talked about Senja, I have Senja at a C. I don't have her that far, but I just think her pool is great. I love the pool ability. I just think the showboating and like we talked about earlier, I want to keep attacking and I need to build up my damage, but I need to stop right in front of these mobs so that I can either hit air so I can increase. It's just a little bit when another character can just go and do attacks.
No, exactly. And then the little annoying thing is like when you do the dashes and stuff, you got to reposition your camera and then get in position again, and then it's not for me. That gameplay is not for me.
She looks cool though. I really
it does look cool. Yeah. I do admire that people can do it consistently. I was like, oh damn.
I do have a question for Atlantis on this actually.
Sure.
So one of the things about Nis is the high complexity to play. Do you feel like she's like as high complex as some people are making out to be, or like do you feel like for you it's more natural? Do you feel like you can get into her more easily? Like how would you rate her on the difficulty to play compared to others?
Even from the very get go, Nis was always like hard to play. I think some of that comes from the way the website, the official Wayfinder website, has it. I remember seeing something that has, I don't know, it was some like difficulty rating, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if it's still there, but maybe some of that's from that. I'd say yes and no. In one ways, I want to say Senja's harder to play, just in some aspects, but that's for just like efficiency of doing things. But I do think Nis has some intricacies to her in that, depending on your spec, how much piercing you're going to go, the fact that her abilities can do piercing, so that's going to affect your build in some sense. Getting up Umbral Aura, the one that, gives you essentially a way to do attacks while dodging. So making sure you have that up at the right times while using your Shadow Step or overlapping them. You go to ults, are you going to use Umbral Aura and have that up when you ult, so you're also getting that on that? I think with her, you have to be a little bit more intentional on when you use your abilities. They're not as straightforward as some of the other ones, but I don't think that she's like so crazy to understand either. I don't think it's as crazy as some have made it out to be. Oh no, but yeah, I think she has options in Vengeful Shade, for example, too, right? You can you have that option of continuing to go in after, or you get to leap out. So they're just smaller, like they're cool, and the intricacies to it that other characters just like, I'm throwing this bomb and it does damage, or I'm throwing this bomb first and then this bomb and it does damage. Where with her, you have a little bit more
thinking to do
options. Yeah.
No, for sure. But yeah, it's just I think like the way that they designed her was like she was meant to have like a lot of physical defense, with her mobility to kind of buff her up. But the fact that physical defense right now is not working is just making her just really, really hard to play.
Imagine one of her abilities doing any type of leech. Then I think that instantly like puts her somewhere, just gives her one extra like padding somewhere in her toolkit. Which one it would be, I don't know, but
I don't know. Yeah, but we shall see. We'll keep an eye out.
Noticing a trend here.
I want them all to eat. No, it's fine.
Every Wayfinder just slaps some self-sustain on.
Hey, wait till we get to the Make Your Wayfinder segment.
Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to that segment. You know what? Let's go on to it now. Let's get the good stuff going. Okay, we're gonna take a quick shortcut. You know how I work here. We always go off topics, and we always like do side balls and stuff. So yeah, let's move on to this topic. Let's get the good stuff going for the peeps.
Okay, so we're pretty much done with the hot seat segment, the opinion tier list. I mean, we just have Sandra as last. We talked a fair bit about her, so I'm assuming Sandra's gonna be like tier D / last place.
Yeah, I have her in C. I'm not that close, but yeah, she's last for me right now.
No, that's fair. And I think we've covered enough of like why she's last place. So very much excited for this topic of if we could make a Wayfinder, what it would be. Tom, I'll let you kickstart it and let you introduce the topic too.
With this topic, anyone that comes on gets to voice. They could make if they win the driving seat of the game. What would they be making as a Wayfinder? Okay, so we're gonna keep this fun.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Sounds good.
I'll start off with mine. I think you can all know what mine is by now. It's Necromancer Wayfinder.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah.
I want so either like a Death Knight or like a more staffy light armor kind of. Either one of those two are great with me. Okay, so let's go with some universal abilities between the two archetypes. So I actually thought about this a lot. This is a loot game, okay, and I would like to borrow a little bit of Warframe. I would like a Desecrate. So for those that aren't aware, Desecrate in that game allows extra loot to be dropped. So when you kill an enemy, that enemy has another chance to drop some loot.
That's pretty cool.
I thought that'd be good. That'd be pretty good for echo farming, right? So
or Beastmaster accessories, maybe.
Yeah,
Feather 4.
It would just help speed the farming up, and it could be like a farming Wayfinder. And
like a different use, especially for like the collectors of the game. I feel like they're missing out at the moment. I've heard a couple of people saying, with all the new limits and stuff, like that like not everyone here is to just do hardcore min-max stuff, right? And like everyone just wants to like most people just want to have like a one-off of everything, whether it be like the West accessory or like the level 1 echo or like whatever. Like they just want a one-off of thing. So yeah, I think that'd be really cool for that part of the game.
Put it this way, if they wouldn't allow accessories, definitely the echoes at least. I feel like this is a Wayfinder ability that we've borrowed from Warframe in some shape or form. That everyone, like especially the more casual players, would definitely get behind. The min-maxers would like this anyway because it's another chance of like purple echoes, and what's not to love about purple echoes right now, at this point in the game cycle, so definitely that. And then I think I won't go into the whole kit because I don't want to take up too much time, but I think the other thing is, if it's a necromancer, it needs to be kind of some sort of summons or some sort of temporary transformation. So I'm going to borrow off Warframe 2 examples. Okay, so we can either go the Necros route where we summon past enemies. So let's say start of the match, you have to go in, kill some enemies, and you can summon maybe 1 or 2. I can't imagine they'd do 7 in this game. But you can summon some of the dead. Okay. I would like to summon the witch, by the way, and let them bloody crow the enemy.
Oh my god.
That's funny.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah.
The other route they can go is Sevagoth. Warframe again. A lot of trends here. And it's kind of like where you transform yourself into the Reaper form. Obviously, in this game, like your body's not going to be left behind. So let's say you just temporarily gain transformation into a Reaper, and you just go ham. That's your DPS, okay? So you spend the first part untransformed, building up this soul meter, and then you transform into a Reaper and just wreck the map. That'd be great.
Nice.
It also means you get to time that with bursts and stuff, and
yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, man, I like that idea.
Yeah, but I think that's me out the way though. Atlantis, let's go with you, and Wolf, we'll go with you last on that to wrap up. And
okay. So I initially I thought this was going to be easy. I was like, oh, I have a ton of ideas. That'd be cool. And it was sitting down. I was like, actually, okay, hold on. This is a little bit more challenging. So I figured I'd just continue with. So I really like aquatic water themes, per the name Atlantis, and that tridents and stuff like that. So my character might be a little bit influenced from that, but definitely aquatic water based. So the signature weapon would be a trident. For the signature weapon, I kind of was thinking maybe like a staff type category, because we have two-handers, but the two-handers they're both melee, right? The light and heavy attacks. So I figure with a staff category, they could do ranged attacks for light attacks, and then like melee hits for the heavy attacks.
Nice.
And then so one of the abilities, I don't have names, so I'm sorry. But
no, you're
like I'm just thinking more of like a CC type based character. So like a mobility ability in which they kind of surf on water. So like they surf forward and maybe knock enemies up as you pass through them, and then it like briefly incapacitates them. A water ability kind of like Kairos' Rake. So that would probably be the one, is something that's like, just big waves that crash onto enemies, just do damage or like burst. A whirlpool ability that it's like a small little AoE that you can throw out, and it just pulls enemies towards the center and then just slows them when it fades.
No, for sure. No, I like that.
And then the ultimate, you have to go. So remember, I told you I played Smite, I think, on here, and Poseidon in that game's ult is Kraken, and I think that's pretty cool. So you summon like a Kraken, and you just see tentacles that crush all the enemies.
Oh my
and hold
god,
them.
That would be.
I am getting Hydroid feels right now for Warframe.
Oh, is it similar? Yeah, I've never played Warframe. I've heard good things though. So
No, I like that.
And then to finish it off, the weapon ability would probably be like a beam of water you just channel, and you can just aim it everywhere. And it's like four seconds, and it just slows enemies while it does damage.
No, I like that.
Dude, you've got to play Warframe. You've just found your Warframe. Go play Hydroid, okay?
What's it called? Yeah, I'm gonna need that. You gotta send me a DM so I can YouTube that one.
YouTube that one, yeah. I'll send you two, don't worry.
All right.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love everything about that character, and I hope that comes to fruition eventually.
Well, I hope not, because if it does, I may never play another character, because I'll just be biased.
It'll just be very biased.
Right. What about you, Wolf?
The main thing is you'd be happy with the game, right? So
no, you're having fun. That's it. But for me, I'll probably go the Druid class. I really want a Druid class.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoy Druid and like the whole nature aspects of it, and just like their ability to like summon like animals and like an animal companion kind of class. And that's one thing I really do like about the game. Like, when you can design your apartment and stuff, the
Yeah.
whole aspect of pets and stuff. Like, I bought every single pet there is, and it's beautiful.
Yep. Just getting ready.
Yeah, exactly. So I think like a druid class, like where you can summon like your typical like wolves and stuff, is like really really cool. Like you can transform into like an ability where you can like transform would be really cool. Like into like maybe like a bear or stuff. Like I mean, like you can easily integrate it into the lore that's already there as well. With the ribbon bears and all that stuff. Like I think that'd be really cool. And
Oh
then
yeah.
like an ability that can like transform it, or you can summon like those birds, like kind of like the Beastmaster. I think would be really really cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can have like like an ultimate like the great thing about Druids is you can go into like the whole like animal pathway or like the nature pathway, and if you go down that route or like a hybrid route, you can like choose like lightning as like an AoE or something, which will be really cool.
Yeah.
And I think like weapon wise, like I think you nailed it. Like I think like a staff or something. Like obviously like this one will be like a nature staff or something. Would be really really cool. And then like its ability can be like a mass heal or like a mass debuff or something, or like to help you fill your ability meter up a bit to like use your abilities or like transform or something.
Oh,
I
that's
think would
cool.
be yeah, that's what I'll be really excited for. But we'll see what happens eventually, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think both of your ideas are really neat, actually.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, your water character is very nice. I would definitely play that one.
I feel
But
like mine and Atlantis's ones are basically Warframes, and you've come up with this like MMO.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I gotta definitely send me the DM of the character because I gotta see it now.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure like as time goes on, we'll get hopefully all these characters implemented. But have you seen Grendel? Like, what do you think about him really quickly while we're here?
Yeah, no, I thought I did see Grendel. I thought the teaser trailer that came out not too long ago. I wasn't expecting Grendel to be, or at least the teaser made it seem like he's way darker than I expected. More brutal,
Yeah.
ferocious, and aggressive. I like the line in there. It's like, some call me either killer or assassin or something like that, or hero, and he's like, any of them, just depends on who's saying it. But
Exactly. Yeah.
he looks cool. I'm excited. Yeah, just way darker than I expected, which is pretty neat.
Which is nice, yeah. I'm very excited. He's like the only reason why I like bothered to like get Senja, level her to 30, and also like play Wingrave a little bit too, to just kind of get him ready and like get his weapons and stuff like ready. Because
Yeah.
I'm very excited to play him. He was like I was gonna main just Silo and Ven, but like I think he's gonna make the cut at least to try out initially.
Oh yeah, he definitely
But,
looks cool.
he looks so cool. I'm very excited for him. So yeah, I'm very hopefully he drops soon, but we'll see.
Believe he's the season 2 one, right? So
Yeah, I'm
what
thinking that.
we about a month and a little bit away from that.
Yeah. No, it's about
Should
that.
maybe we should start seeing some teasers soon for that. Hopefully, like
Yeah.
some more character in depth ones, like like to show off the abilities to kind of hype it up.
Yeah. And their videos, like I really like their the animations that they've done, like the anime type videos. Those have been cool, and then that last teaser trailer was really neat too. So it would be cool if it becomes a series of some sort for them.
No, for sure. Yeah. No, I completely agree. This is gonna be fun. But moving on, what do we have? Oh yeah, okay. So we're gonna serious this out a little bit. So this topic has kind of been going around Reddit for a little while, I think. And then obviously it's kind of forced Solid and like the devs to like reply in the Discord channel that they've been amazingly active in. But I just wanted to like kind of get your thoughts as well, because I think people are like just talking about it a little bit, and they're like a discussion at the very least, right? And then it's basically like it's just pertaining gameplay account wise. So like the recent numbers games that I think people have been putting out compared to like when it started and all that. And essentially like like I think numbers are a bit lower than when the game first came out, and like people are just kind of like sometimes like they just panic and just say stuff, and then some people are just like just just kind of having a discussion about if this is a good or bad thing. So I thought we could just quickly maybe touch on that and what Solid has kind of just expressed as well. And I'm not sure if you've been involved in the Discord or not, but essentially Solid just kind of saying about like the drop in like player count. He's like, no, like we've already exceeded like our numbers and like we've met all our targets, and this drop in numbers was to be 100% expected. And we expect like I think a little bit of a jump with season 2 coming out, and then the main test is going to be when free to play comes out.
Right.
So that's going to be their challenge, right? And I just want to know like if what you guys think about that, and about just like player count wise. Like, do you feel like I think like for me and Tom, like we're in a guild, right? So we have like the consistent players, and we still have a lot of fun with the game like that. But I like, do you have like? It'll be nice to hear your opinion, like Atlantis, like when you're like, I guess not in a guild or not privy to like play with the group consistently. I guess like, can you like how fun are you playing it with solo, or like do you have a group, a set group that you have, and like does the player count bother you?
All right. Yeah, that's a good question. I guess I'll touch on the soul, like playing with others.
Yep.
When I can play, like outside, like we talked before, outside of editing, I either jump in solo, or sometimes when on stream, I have a couple whoever's in the views, who needs help. So sometimes I'm either just helping another play, or we're grouping up, and I've enjoyed definitely playing with others, and so I haven't really experienced too much, and I'm okay playing solo too. Sometimes I just queue solo, try to get some grinds in. I know the player count definitely has dropped. I think I think it's kind of twofold in that sense. First, I just want to say thanks to, if they happen to listen, which I hope they do, because these podcasts are great. Big thank you to Solid and Snarf. I don't know if many people will realize, and I mean, the sheer amount of work they probably have to do between their own duties for the studio and like the work they're doing behind the scenes, and then in the Discord constantly answering like hundreds of thousands probably questions at this point. And a lot of times it's not very polite and whatnot. And here's the thing, I understand people's frustration at the time. I've been frustrated at times as a player, because we're excited, right? We're excited to try things. And so, if a delay happens, we're a bit bummed. If something doesn't hit exactly how you thought it was, like for me, it was the inventory change. I understand why it was needed, especially for stability purposes. But there are things that is like, well, I would have liked to have this if it was in. Hopefully they're looking at it. I'm sure they are, and so it's just got to put that in perspective. But I was talking to Tom earlier, I think, and I think the biggest thing is, so obviously you got to pay into early access, but early access means different things for different games. And I think that's just kind of where we are into today's gaming era. Where like one game early access means it's pretty much it's done, and early access you're starting early. You're paying to start early. Nothing's going to change. It's ready to go. Whereas a game like Wayfinder, it's more of a testing phase, and the launch clearly showed they probably exceeded way more people than they're expecting.
To be fair, I mean, like, I did not expect like 100,000 people in early access. I think that just shows like behind the scenes how many people were keen for this game. Like, I saw this game come out, I think last year, like November, when it was like when it just came on my radar. And since then, like, I was like the first person to like, or probably like the earliest one to like just sign up to their website, get an account, like the account. I'm like, I'm waiting for this game, and like, I think there was like so many of those stories, and not everyone's going to be on Discord and like Reddit and stuff expressing that interest, right? So I think it was a surprise at the very least getting that much player base.
And to that, I understand there's I was right there with them trying to queue and get in and just get any game time. So I understand frustration of that aspect. I do think that Wayfinder's concept and the concept they have in the game, the gameplay is engaging enough and really cool that a lot of those players who've fallen off, and I get it, content's, they're waiting for new content, or they're like, I'm not going to play this game, but I guarantee you a lot of them will come back at free to play, and hopefully, it's a better experience for them. Not all of them will like it at that point still, but I think the biggest thing is that they need to continue to just do what they're doing, polishing systems, get everevering ready so that, because free to play is that is the final test. Like as much as I'm a huge fan of what they've done. I think that the devs are, they're, especially the community teams, like really, really transparent. There's a lot of cool concepts, but ultimately that test will be free to play in the months that come after it. That's at that point, that's where the real test is going to kick in. And so I think they just got to get ready for that part of it. And we're here to test it, you know?
No, exactly. I mean, like, that's what we're trying to do in the next 6 months or so, right? Using our platforms that hopefully we can build to just get like that positive feedback and like just kind of like bring or draw people into the game by like expressing like what we love about the game and why we spend so much time and effort promoting it, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't want, I know we got to get Tom in on this. I just wanted, you just said something that I liked. That's pretty much where I'm at. I love nothing more to be able to either help new players. I mean, a lot of videos I'm doing now are just kind of gearing for like, hopefully we can bring in new people at Founder Season 2. But and also just connecting. There's a lot of cool. I mean, you had Tempter on last time, and I've met a lot of cool streamers. Just I just would love it for it to be a one big community that just really gets behind the game. And I get it for for a lot of people, they have to, you know, it has to get proven to them. But I really do believe we'll get there, and the team's shown a lot of cool things.
Exactly. And I think that's why we invest so much time, like, because we genuinely do believe in the game and like what it could become as well, the potential it has, right? Like, it's so big.
Oh
yeah. But yeah, Tom, like, I'll bring you in as well. Like, what do you think about what we're just all talking about?
Oh, okay.
It is a loaded question.
I'm gonna follow up from Atlantis on some of the stuff. So let's go with player. Let's start with player count actually. Player count. Okay. Let's not pretend, right? We felt that in our own Discord.
Our guild is it was definitely a lot more active a month ago than like obviously we saw a few members like drop off. And
So launch day of the game, we had loads of people all on voice chat, all mixed in to the point voice chat was you can't really have much of a conversation.
Like it just set people up, you know, like you set up
it was like
groups and like
I think we had
it was a good thing, like
40 or 50 people on all in a voice chat. And that was just the people that wanted to come on voice chat. We still had all the text chat and that all popping after. I think overall we had like 70 people all ready.
It's just like just on that point, it was just like speaking on the hype. Like, so for the viewers like who are not privy to the guild, right? It just essentially like what we did was we had like a launch party in our guild, right? And that was to just get like everyone, like content creators, players who are excited in the game into like one big party on launch day. And like, you know, that's where these numbers came from. We had like 100 people on voice chat, just like, you know, just going off. It was wild.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think at one point we actually rivaled the people in the Wayfinder Discord on the voice chat.
Wow.
It was pretty nice.
That was a cool event, yeah.
And then it was a cool time. So player count has hit. We felt that in the guild. We felt that as a content creator on like the amount of interest. Building up to the game. Like I know Atlantis was saying, you know, there was some hype, and he managed to do well. I managed to grow his channel through that. And a couple of days before the game launch, when we came out on YouTube, we had some fast growth, and then the problems hit, and then it was slow growth, and it's kind of been like a little, you know, we're getting there. And for those listening, thank you for supporting us, and thank you for supporting Atlantis, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here.
We really do want to get more content out for you guys. So you supporting us and, you know, giving us feedback, it all helps, you know. Just keeps us going, and hopefully we get through this little hard phase that we're feeling. But yeah, no, it's we still love the game and we want to give you the content, you know.
As for the players exceeding their numbers. Okay, so I've said this on a previous podcast. I have an issue with this. This should have been apparent in so many ways that this game was gonna kind of like kick off the way it did. How the launch day being only, I think it was capped at 10K or something that they were on about. I don't know how they ever come up with capping at 10K for the servers. Like, it's an
Yeah.
online game, and I mean, just going off the numbers in their own Discord channel, kind of proved that they needed to up that. So that's my issue on that. The fact that this is, I still think they should be right now trying to get players in. So you know, after this subject, I'm gonna lead us in with another. I'm gonna throw a bone before we move on, okay? But we'll come back to this. But player numbers right now, I guess they, you know, if they're happy with it, then you know that's all that matters, right? Like our time will come when the game gets more content and it goes free to play, and that's probably where I want this game to be at. Like I do want the influx of the players, and I do want the guildies to return because the game's like I've still got players in the guild that have bought the
Exalted.
The Exalted Founders Pack. They have not played the game other than coming in, attaching an outfit. They took part in the fashion contest. They've not touched it since. They only logged into the game to take part in that event we done.
Yeah, that's true.
Outside of that, they're not touching the game until more content's been added. The DCs have been fixed. Like they gave a whole list. I'm only going over some highlights. And it's those people I feel like we need to win back. That they are.
Yeah.
If you can get those back, free to play is going to be an okay thing.
Well,
going
it's just
over
on
to
that
free
point,
to play though. Go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, the people who bought in the Zelda pack, you know, some of them are like the officers in our guild, so you know they'll have like a management role, like just like kind of just keeping an eye on the chats and all that, all these little like additional tasks. And it was just really cool to see that, like, you know, they're very upfront. They're like, hey, like we're just taking a break from the game. There's just, you know, a lot going on that we don't like, which is fair enough. But they're still part of our community. Like they still log in every day just to see like what's happening in the Wayfinder community, and you know, like has there been an update? And they're just literally just waiting. You know, for like the fixes to kind of come and to get like a new content update to kind of just get that pull back into the game as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, with the free to play though, all I can say is this, okay? I beg you, please, for the love of God, please make sure server capacity can sustain it. Set that well above 100K, please. They, you know, if you build the game, they will come. Okay, that's where I'm going with this. And I can only go off like this game has the potential to be big, and there's only one way I know that. It's the amount of people I was able to pull out of an MMO to come over into this game so I've said, hey, let's go play this. They've checked out the game. I've said it's going to be great. Okay, I kind of put my own foot in my mouth at this point.
That's on the line, yeah.
They've trusted me. They've spent Exalted, I think over here in the UK is like £90 or 90. So they've spent that. They've bought the top package. They're sat here playing the game. Some of them are still playing. Some of them aren't. Some of them are sat here waiting. Okay, there's a good chunk of this Discord that came over, and if free to play crashes, I'm screwed.
No, that is a good point though. I mean, I am curious. Like, I don't know. I first admit I don't know the ins and outs of like coding and all that type of stuff for database management and servers and all that. So, but to your point, I do agree. Like, hopefully they can do some type of testing ahead of time or like preemptive mock trials of some sort to make sure that. And we know every game that has a launch has its fair share of issues, but like those they need to be able to be remedied fairly quickly for free to play, because if it is another EA repeat, then you're gonna have what happened with EA with the big review bombing I don't think
all the nasty stuff.
Yeah, I saw somewhere that maybe they can get those removed once it goes free to play. So, and if that's true, then you're starting with a clean slate. But if you have the same issues, then the same thing is you're gonna expect the same reviews, the same drop in players. So yeah, I think that's a good point. That is probably, hopefully they learn, and that's a high priority for them going into free to play.
Yeah, and I think that like in the 6 months they learn like how to make the game more stable as well, which I think they're doing, because with the whole inventory UI fixes, the whole characters like being only able to be selected at like a checkpoint or something that they'll implement.
I heard
So,
someone that part about it. If you don't mind, Wolf, sorry.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Someone's like, I'm finding the farthest signal fire in deep the snow area, so that there's everybody's gonna stack up in Skylight. And it's like, nope, I'm going somewhere else.
Oh yeah. No, that's So it's just all these little fixes they are. So I think just like to wrap up this whole segment and to introduce the next one, it's just I guess like the devs' approach to the game. Like, what do we tell the people who are like on like, I mean, obviously like the Reddit people are going to Reddit sometimes, and there's going to be too much concern. So how can we appease that a little bit? And how do we maintain morale for like I guess the seasoned players and like the people logging in consistently? Like, what can we say about it?
Wait! Before you go into that, please let me side plug this side. But I got it in my head.
Well.
Okay, so me and Atlantis actually spoke about this before. It's a good segue into this.
Yeah.
And I was actually going to do a video on this, but we'll do it on the podcast. It's Wayfinder. It's Wayfinder worth paying for right now. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So
That's a good
I'm going to
question.
start this off. Okay. So let's go.
Yeah.
We got different tiers of packs here. Okay. Just for this example, I'm going to go with you got the base pack. I think that's around £13. You got the top package, 90, and then you got the stuff in between. Okay, stuff in between kind of optional, but the two big ones right now, 13, 90. Okay, they're the ones, because if you're going to go for the mid ones, some people are just going to go, oh, I'll buy heroic Kairos towards the end or something.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go off these two. So right now, my opinion is, you can buy a McDonald's. Okay, you can buy a McDonald's.
Okay.
Or you can spend £13, just probably like £2-3 more than a McDonald's. Okay, ask yourself, how long does a McDonald's last you?
Yeah.
How long does Wayfinder last you right now? And keeping in mind, right now the game is in a somewhat playable state. Like, you will have fun here.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely a playable state, I would say. I think it's before it was not, but I think I would at this moment at recording it's definitely playable.
I would say personally, I think for £13, you could do a lot fucking worse. You really could. Like, that's only a box of 20 cigarettes here in the UK, or it's a McDonald's. How long are they going to last you? Like, there's some content here. You could probably get easily 70 to 100 hours out of this casually.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So on that front, I'd say go for it, but just be aware. I'm still going to hold exactly what I said on the first podcast episode. Okay. Look at this game as a paid beta. Don't look at it as an early access. It's a paid beta. Okay, you're paying to pay the beta.
Yeah. Because I think this is one of the rare instances where and I think Atlantis kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. It's just like, it's just in the gaming year where we're at. Well, when we say early access, like, people were expecting a polished game. And then like, I think it's just like that terminology has just been so morphed over the times, and like these guys were like, when they're saying, hey, like, this game is early access, don't have too many expectations, they really meant that. Like, it wasn't like a PR stunt or like whatever. It was genuinely like, no, this is an early access game, and don't expect too much out of it. And then I think like the 70, 100K that joined at launch date, they're expecting like every other game that's an early access is meant to be, which is a polished game, which this kind of was not meant to be. And I think there's that disconnect. But
Yeah, there's games. Early access is pretty much a head start. You have early access, like
yeah,
the one currently in Wayfinder. Then there's games that are like have been in early access for years. I don't, you know what I mean? There's other games I don't want to name them just to I don't know. I don't want to dog on other games, but like they're technically in closed alpha, but sell packs. You know, and it's been for 2 years
like
in a closed alpha with selling packs. So I mean, it's just all over the place. Really, terminology.
Yeah.
Let's
And I think
go
no, keep going,
more.
Tom.
Sure.
No. I was just wrapping up. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the exalted pack, and then I'll pass it around to you guys. Okay. Then we got the exalted pack. You got the packs in between, but let's be honest, if you're gonna go for one of them, eventually you may want to pick up the end one because you got a good chunk of money.
You get more value out of it. Yeah.
And let's be honest, like if you're not getting heroic Kairos, you're missing out. You're missing out. But then we got the exalted pack, okay, and this is where I feel like because I got asked this on one of the YouTube comments. I've been asked this in Discord by many people, especially the ones we brought over. What pack should I buy? What pack should I buy? Okay, so you got the price for the McDonald's base pack. We're going with that. We're going with that terminology.
Okay.
See, this is where it gets complicated because right now I can't recommend going for the exalted. Until one, you've tried the game, and you actually know that you like it, and two, wait till season 2 at least before picking it up. Go and see the bulk because they got a lot of good stuff coming in season 2, and if you still can't get into the game at that point, I would not say drop 90 quid on it.
And if you're no Shanna, it's $150, so it is a fair bit of money.
Now you could look at it from the opposite argument and go, well, look, I missed out. I played Warframe and I missed out on Excalibur Prime. I didn't get it. You could look at it like the Warframe approach. Well, look how good Warframe's done, but that's Warframe. This ain't Warframe, okay? Like this is still going to be a somewhat of a gamble for you. I still have full confidence that the game will be around for years to come. Don't get me wrong, but like, for you right now, is it worth it? Like like today of recording, is it worth it?
Well, it's just we can't answer the questions for the audience, but we can let them know think about these things and make a wise decision.
Unless you really want heroic Kairos, and you want to use him all the time, hold off until season 2 because right now, or as of today, I don't think it's worth dropping it on a whim. I think you should impulse buy that. I think you need to take your time, buy the base thing, enjoy the game, see what it has to offer, wait until something drops, with the amounts and all that, you can kind of get a feel of what's coming. Then do it.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
what do you reckon, Tom?
To Tom's point too, I mean, and the fact that you can always upgrade, until free to play. So going with that base pack, just if you're unsure and you want to test it out, you have that opportunity to always upgrade it if you decide, oh, I actually do really like this game, And if you don't, back to Tom's original point, I agree. I mean, I think the base pack here is like $20. I mean, that's a movie ticket and no popcorn. Like it's you get your 2 hours and that's it. You're gonna get plenty of gameplay in there. For that,
at least 70 to 100 hours at least.
And then honestly, if you throw in the 500, I think it's, if I remember correctly, the base pack was 500 rune silver. I mean, that's the equivalent of $5 in the shop. So you're
really $15.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting good money.
It's cheaper than some of the Call of Duty skins. Okay, that base pack. Just saying that.
No, exactly. No, I think if you're just contrasting Exalted and the base pack. I'm sorry, I'll let you finish your Atlantis before I get to me.
Oh no, that's all. That's all I had on that.
No, I mean, I think Tom just pretty much nailed it. It's just it's very hard recommending getting the Exalted pack right now. And I think the only based on like what Tom has already said, but the one thing I'll add is for me like I think like in season 2 there'll be a bit more maps added as well, which I think will add to a bit more content. And I think right now for me, I just feel like even though it's like not a true MMO or like whatnot, I still feel like the map sizes, like the open area of the Highlands per se, is a bit smaller. And I think hopefully by like season 2, like with additional new maps and like bigger areas that comes out, it just like there's more reason, or like you get more value, like or more reasons to like the game, right? To get like the Exalted, and hopefully with a bigger map, it's easier to recommend an Exalted pack, you know.
I would say with that, but the bigger maps now, please, like, please allow us to group up with multiple guildies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm with you on
Highly
that.
It's an open world zone. Like, let us just do like guild photos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool things.
I found that even just trying to get more than a couple viewers when I was playing on stream, we want to do an event, but like you said, it's pretty much you get 2, and that's pretty much it. Definitely with you on that. And you just brought up Highlands. It's probably a topic for another one, maybe another podcast. But I hope the job boards, I hope they lend itself more to getting you out into Highlands, like unit versus more just Lost Zones. We already spent so much time in Lost Zones that I'm kind of hoping they give you reason to go back into Highlands. Yeah.
Yeah, if they just expanded and then like add a bit more to Highlands, I think that'd be really nice. Because I do miss the open area of like the MMO a little bit, and with mounts coming in as well, I like you'll think the open areas are going to be big as well, you know?
Yeah. The last thing too I'll add on that, again, back to my I do not know. I'm not even gonna pretend I know anything about coding. That stuff's probably super difficult. But if there's any way we can auto phase into a server with our group mates at some point, that would be great. Because the gather party, it works, but it's just when I would love for invite somebody, they join us, and then we just like phase into our own little thing.
Way to do it. Like an official way to do it. Right now, it feels like I'm abusing a bug to like a.
I mean, what they should do is just like they could. I mean, it features in game, right? They got the gather party button. So what they can just do, like once you finish the mission, is just go hit retry, and it just does the same purpose as the regather party button. Like, I can't imagine it would be too hard on their end to kind of replicate. Maybe if they could do it so it doesn't like kick people, like within 10 runs, you can kick. If they could just do that, that'd be great. But...
No, for sure. No, that'd be really good. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm just very excited to see with all the new contents coming up and like what new updates they're going to bring to the table. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it is super exciting. I am very much pumped, and I know Atlantis is pumped as well.
Oh yeah, definitely excited.
No.
Like the devs, just the roadmap had me excited.
Oh yeah.
I was just I done a really brief video on that when it first came out. It got updated since, by the way, since that video, and yeah, they have got big plans for the game. Do I think they will come on time? No, I don't think. I think I think we are set back a bit on the time scale of things here. I still think the seasons will release on time, but I think the other stuff will be a bit delayed because of how the server issues and at the start. I think that did push it back a couple of weeks. But I think they will come. But I think people are just gonna have to be a little extra patient. They are really excited. Yeah, they are really exciting, and if they can nail this, it's a good point. It's a good W. Good W.
No, sure.
The vision's there on that roadmap. Like there's so many cool concepts. It's just, I guess it's a matter of like how many hiccups they hit along the way that push some of them further on.
It's like a seamless execution, right? Like it's just smooth. Just praying, best case scenario.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
While I got you here, Atlantis.
Sure.
Another little off topic. I promise I'll stop sideballing you.
All
right. Okay. So this come up on a previous podcast episode, but I'm actually curious to get your points. Me and Wolfer have kind of said our bit on it. How are you feeling about the shop and the skins and personas? Like,
ooh, okay. That is a good one. Okay, so that man, I'm gonna start with a answer that's not even related to your question, and I'm sorry,
Sure,
but like
sure, go for it. Go for it.
in
I love
previous, so in games, I feel like there's still a big group of people that don't understand. Like a studio has to make money. If you want the game to last a certain amount of time, then they're gonna need money over a certain amount of time, right? Um, so there's obviously the different models, subscription models like WoW that charges you monthly, and that continues to, after the expansion comes out and they get that initial wave of um, revenue to reinvest, they have the monthly. Your free to play games have to make money over time. Like, sure, they make money off the early access, and then if it's free to play, if they're not making money at that point, how can you expect them to last 10 years and just not have a shop, right? So I don't mind the concept of a shop, especially cosmetics. I feel like that's perfectly fine. The power based stuff, that's where it gets really, really iffy and dicey. But the cosmetics, I don't mind. I think so far it's been cool. I think the options we have, the foundations there, right? So like being able to pick charms and trinkets and be able to pick a couple different colors. Obviously they have a whole grid of dyes. So over time, I would love to see a huge amount of dyes and a huge amount of things we can pick. Obviously we're in early access, so it's to be expected a little bit more limited. I like that so far. I do think I would like to see, and again, I know we're in the early stages, but I would like to see things that are more earnable in game as well. So like, it seems right now we have everything through the shop as far as cosmetics goes. The heroics that are supposed to come are supposed to give us unique rewards. Hopefully, some of that's cosmetic, and maybe the raids as well, so that you see Wolf and Dominator if the guild completed the hardest content on a raid. You got a rare drop, you're wearing that piece or that, I don't know if it's an aura even. Maybe they come out with auras around your character, so while you're AFK in Skylight, people can see
that'd be
you.
cool.
I would like to see things that are more, maybe it's like a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split of in the shop, so they make money, and then stuff that you earn in game and stuff that's really easily accessible for like just casual players, but also you have to have some things for like the hardcore grinders or hardcore players to really kind of feel rewarded on for putting in the time and getting all that. So as far as prices, I feel like prices are okay. I've seen worse. There's definitely like Valorant weapons are pretty expensive.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Obviously we probably always would like them to be cheaper so we could get more, but now I have seen some discussion on like not having a rotating shop and maybe like a mix of like some static stuff and maybe some rotation or just pure static. I'll be honest that I'm not really too well vested in that type of. I haven't played a lot of, and my thing is I haven't played a lot of games to know enough about statics and rotate shops, right? So I understand the concept, but maybe you guys know more about that side of things. I get the FOMO aspect of like, if I miss it that day, I gotta wait a whole long, and that kind of I could see.
Look, I'm with you. I'm not. I saw the remarks as well. Like, we should have like statics and like more rotations and like a bigger pool of cosmetics and stuff. Like, I'm kind of content. I think at the moment with what they're putting out. Obviously, like when free to play comes out, a polished version of like what and a bigger version of what they have like would obviously like be really good. I mean, I think it's naturally going to get there anyway with the amount of time that's going to be like since early access to free to play. You got like a year's worth of items that they can pull together and like kind of create an inventory. I think for now, like I think like it like I'm not too worried. I do get the point of like customization. Like it would be really cool to like customize or your way like with either through different skins or like have like a barber shop or something in the future to like maybe like put on like maybe like not to the detail of like some MMOs go to like changing your like eyebrow color or but at the very least like changing your face or your hairstyle, like that'd be cool. Or changing different personas. Just like at least like make an effort,
So like Wingrave's hairstyles or beard style, you're going like that's cool. I haven't thought about that.
Stuff like just like at a basic level, if you can do that, like I think that'd be really cool because I think initially like what I think we covered this last time as well is like what the devs wanted to do is like have like 4 set like wayfinders, right? And then have like the lore kind of carry the Wayfinders and like kind of get you immersed into the world through the lore and story. But unfortunately, you know, I think like the downsides of the game is like the story isn't as compelling as like other games. So it's like such as like Warhammer, you know, per se, which has like a big like story and lore and drive behind like that franchise, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like for right now at this moment, it's not like Wayfinder can't get there, but at this very moment, it's just like the story isn't compelling enough for me to be like, oh, I really want Silo to look like this, and I don't want to change anything about him when I'm playing an MMO. I'm not like, you know, like I want to play the game to be Silo and like shoot stuff up and like enjoy that mechanic side of things at the moment. So I think because they missed the story aspect now, it's maybe time to shift gears a little bit and kind of put like that barbershop or like different dice and like stuff like that in.
Yeah, that could be cool. I never thought of that.
Mm.
And back to your shop point, I guess that was another thing. You know, I just told you I really hadn't thought about rotating, but then you mentioned later on free to play, maybe, you know, they have a different iteration already in the works. But when there are hundreds, like a lot of items already in the game, if it is rotating and you're waiting on that one item, I could see the downfall of like having to wait. And then if you happen to miss the 1 day or 2 days, then it might. I know some of them are on a week, but like if it's one of the shorter ones.
Exactly. Yeah.
How
for sure.
about Persona's first outfits though? Like, what's your thought on that? Because there are, don't get me wrong, there's some great Personas out there. I'm at the opinion of where I think some others are as well, where it'd be nice if they would be able to be swappable a bit. Not all the parts, if you want to, but I feel like some parts should be swappable at least. Like, just add in more customization, or if they're gonna make personas, some have been great, but some I feel need to be a little more out whack. I know someone said like Wingrave's just another set of armor, really. It'd be nice if
I
you could
agree.
do some
Like
alternative there.
all of Wingrave skins for some reason all look the same. It's just the same armor, and I just wish they kind of, I really the Wingrave's customization is very lacking.
I'm trying to think like what's the play at not allowing personas to be interchangeable? Like you just had me thinking because I haven't really thought about it. I think there's some really cool ones, but if you were able to buy a persona, you're still purchasing the persona, right? They're still getting the money. So then I guess outside of like coding, having to code whatever it takes, again, I don't know all that, but like having to implement the way to be able to switch them and those resources. Aside from that, is there something longer at play that we don't, maybe that helps them monetarily? That's the only thing I can think of why you wouldn't let personas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it hinders them because they still get the money, and it gives us more incentive to buy the persona because you might think, oh, that persona's head looks cool. Let me just change that head with like another accessory that I bought from the shop. Like it. I mean, I can't see why they haven't done it. You know, like maybe it is a code thing, and I'm not privy to that because I'm not a software developer. But yeah, it just makes no sense. I think on a business side to like just limit the customization skills when you're already paying for it, you know.
But am I maybe I don't have the game pulled up, and so I maybe are I feel like some of them are able to. And I may be wrong. I may be completely wrong. Was there not a persona? And maybe I'm just reading it incorrectly. Like the persona, there's one I think Wingrave was like the Seeker or something, and then there's shoulders that are called Seeker Pauldrons. But I feel like you could pick the persona of Wingrave and still swap out some items. But I feel like Venomous, wasn't there a persona with Venomous that the one that had the really cool mask, like it looked I don't know
I know what you're talking about.
It was like she had a hood. That one I feel like there are that you can swap out, and then there are personas that you can't.
You can't, yes. No, you're exactly right. I think that's what Tom was saying because initially I thought you could change personas because I just remember changing them, but then I think Tom was saying some you can and some you can't, and I'm not sure why.
My main point for this though was like, so I was kind of expecting to be able to take the persona of Kairos that came out, the I think it's Revenant or whatever they call it, you know, the sculpture. I want to slap that on heroic Kairos. Just the face. And then there's a couple of other skins in the shop for Kairos, and I'd like to take other elements of them and again slap that on Heroic Kairos, but keeping the Heroic Kairos iconic chests, but just add in the customizability, if just little things like that. So it's still Heroic Kairos being the main body part, but it's got Sona, it's got like some other skin accessories. The skins I can get, but why can't I just take the face at least?
Yeah.
And just buff the body,
hopefully they will fix that up a little soon. It'll be really nice. Yeah. Change personas.
I feel like they either have something down the line already that's gonna piggyback off that for reasons why, or maybe it is intended for us to be able to do that, and they just haven't gotten around to all of them yet. Because there's other things in the game that are intended but are still not implemented. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I would like to be able to mix and match all of them. If I bought it, you got the money. Let's if we can already switch other pieces, why not these?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, that's my whole thing.
That's a good point,
Tom.
Yeah. I just had to bring it up because I know it's one of the big things that we put back in the podcast, and it was really well received. Like there was that whole debate going on. I think we had in the because our Discord now is Guild, but we also have the community side in with us as well. And like for example, Atlantis right now is in the Discord as a community member. So is Tempter, Dev. I think actually no, Dev's part of the Guild now, isn't he? Yeah, he joined the Guild. Yeah, so it kind of sparked a debate, and we actually had a bunch of community mixing with the guild debating this for a little bit, and it was kind of cool. And then we put it on Reddit, and there was a little debate there as well. So I was just really curious because I've not heard Atlantis really talk too much about it, and I thought, you know what, it'd be great to get bring him into it because he wasn't in the Discord at the time that we had it.
Yeah, we had that.
So it'd be great to get him like up to speed on like where he really is, and it also gives people more of an understanding like where he is with the game on different stances and stuff as well.
Oh yeah, that was a good question. I definitely hadn't really. I like the cosmetics. Honestly, that's one of the biggest things for me in games. Oddly enough, I just haven't really. I've used the system a little bit here and there, but I think I'm with you on that, and hopefully maybe we'll see some more info come along with that. Maybe Founder Season 2 or something.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Nice. Cool. Where are we at?
I think we covered everything. I think that's about it. Unless you guys have any other topics or comments to say?
You know what? I'll go with one. I'll go with one bonus. Just one bonus.
All right, though. Final one. Yeah. All right.
Then we'll wrap up because why we gotta make the most of Atlantis.
No,
you're
saying like he's not gonna come back. I just in my head he's coming back every week now.
I missed out on Tempter's one, so I'm making up for it. Like
that was a good one. That was a good one.
Exactly. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. I do need to get Tempter, and I was saying to Atlantis actually, we need to get Tempter and him on here as well. I think those two would be electric together. It'd be really nice to get
that'd be really cool.
Back. Okay, so question then. Let's try and think of a really nice one for you guys. Okay, so if you could pick anything to change in the game right now, okay? And like, so this can be UI, this can be character design, like anything shop related, open world, anything.
That's a good one.
Bring in anything of your choice. What would it be? Okay, it can also be stuff off the roadmap. I'm going to allow that. But you gotta be very specific. Just
that's a good one.
One thing per person. Play ball.
Okay. That's a very tough question. But I think for the biggest part, what I would definitely change the most is definitely the UI and the fact that you can't multiple sell. I think that's the quality of life that I really, really want changed, like as soon as possible. The fact that like we hoard so much as like by playing the game so much, and like we can't sell multiple accessories or echoes or like dust multiple echoes is very, very painful, especially farming Ryvn or Beastmaster, or like for like 50 100 rounds, and you can't like just sell multiple of like whatever excess stuff you have.
Yeah.
It's pretty, yeah, it does take like a good 30 minutes sometimes just to clear out the inventory, and I don't want to be doing that.
Yep. Yeah, that's a
So I
good
think
one.
that's I think I just really, and I mean, credits to you. I really enjoyed your UI thoughts as well. That video was really good, so go check that out.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that was, I think, is like, I think everyone was like feeling it. I was like, how can the UI be worked? And you had some really good points there. So I think, yeah, just reworking the UI so it doesn't feel like very beta. Like by the time it gets to free to play, a more polished inventory system like would be really, really nice. And I think that there is plans to do it anyway. So yeah, I'm just very hopeful that gets done sooner than later though, because yeah, that's probably my biggest gripe. And I think the second thing is an addition of like bigger maps. I think
No,
it's just
no, no,
getting to
no,
the
no,
point.
Wolf. It's
Yeah,
one
no,
choice,
no, no.
buddy. You can't throw that as a spin ball. Come on, I said one choice.
I just feel bad
That's 1B.
that's 1B. All right, okay, I'll leave it there then. And I'll
Yeah,
drop it to your Atlantis. I think I'll pick
yeah.
the UI over a big map, so definitely UI changes.
Okay, so your UI changed. It's okay. Atlantis, how
Yep.
about you, buddy?
I am going to have to go with my aquatic water. No, I'm just playing. No, actually, I kind of wish I went before Wolf, because I have to agree 100,000%.
Yep.
I think I enjoy so many elements of the game, and I think the player base does as well. I think Wolf just hit it right on the head. I think the UI fixing the multi-cell, definitely including type slots on when you're selling the screen.
Yeah.
Even to this day, like, could I go and equip an accessory that I want to another Wayfinder just to make sure? Sure, but that's just another
Yeah.
roundabout. And here's the thing, though, I
No.
know that they're working on it, so it's not like they're not. Like, even when I made the video,
Yep.
I just feel like we had to talk about it. I don't want to be one of those that's, by all means, I want to be supportive. I really like the game. The devs are awesome. The community managers are awesome. They're always they're doing a great job. Part of the reason why I'm as excited about it as I am. But at the same time, I do want to, I think, just express some of, as a player, there are surely frustrations that we all share. And so I feel like the UI, you said sooner rather than later, and I agree, because when the content drops, mid-content drops, and Founder Season 2 comes out,
oh yeah,
it can be great, but if it's still a pain and still kind of, it discourages players to want to log on, because once they've farmed materials, but then they have to go, kind of like a headache to sell. It's just they're gonna play it, and then they're gonna hit that wall. I have friends that currently they're where they are. They like to play, but they don't want to keep juggling which accessories can I sell? I can't sell but one at a time. So I do think that has to still be kind of a high priority. Otherwise, you're going to run into the same situation when the new content drops. And then there's just one other little plug that's part of UI, so it's not technically something new. Great selling, like the making things. It's along the same lines as multi-cell. So when you go to make a gray gloomstone or a blue gloomstone, I just want to be able to put in, I want to make 25 gray gloomstones, hold my create, and then it's 25 created, because I don't like having to press it over and over and then press OK. And that's my last request.
Please. Oh, the one thing, sooner than later is, like if you equip, like when you have multiple Wayfinders equipped with accessories, right? And you have your set, like for Silo, you have your perfect accessories sorted, and now you're on Vent selling accessories. Please, please, please do not show my Silo's accessories to sell. That is my biggest gripe at the game at the moment. I think I sold.
Didn't they fix it?
No, because well, I mean, they might have, but recently, but yesterday I was in Vent selling some stuff, and because I use Golden Cloak, right, as an accessory, and it was like a level 30 for Silo. I'm like, oh, hang on, I have a few of these lying around. Let me just sell all of them. And in doing that, I sell Silo's level 30 accessory with the right echo slot.
So I think they did fix something along those lines. Now, Whether or not it's actually working, that's a whole nother thing, because I actually haven't tested it myself. But again, if they just get to a point where you can lock accessories or lock echoes, you won't have to worry anymore. Like, unless it's really absolutely bugged. But you don't know if those are duplicates or if those are actually the ones on your silo. There's no way, it doesn't say equip to silo when you're in that screen. So there's really no way to know until you press the button, even if it is working or not working. So to your point, I think they just need a more sure way, locked way, or just to display information.
No, I think that's it's all agreement on that.
Yep.
And we have been going a bit long, so I'm sure Tom will have fun editing. But the one last question that I did want to get our thoughts on, and because it's a bit relevant at the moment, is the whole Ryvn farming.
You have to promise you can't get mad at me. I hope anyone listening doesn't get mad at me. Okay, no.
Of course.
So, all right. Well, first, and hopefully, I mean, maybe you saw the same thing. I'm like 99% sure that I saw this in Discord, and is the only reason why. But I saw Snarf post something along the lines, because people were asking about it when it happened, and he was saying, it's an in-game thing, so it's not bannable. But like, if you use third-party things, obviously you're gonna get banned. Like, they monitor that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, because on any occasion, I don't like hacking. That really comes from the FPS world. Like, I don't like hacking. I don't promote that. So if it was anything that's like hacking based, absolutely not. When I saw that's in-game thing, I was like, I'm not gonna really do that. Don't have to do that. But guys, please, again, don't be mad at me. Prior to like content creation, I've always really been hardcore, mythic raid guilds, like just full on, what some consider a sweat, like just trying to get everything I can decked out. I found that a lot harder with time with editing. So when this came out, I was like, this is a nice way to kind of catch up all those times I'm not editing. I have been doing it. I'll admit I have been doing it when I can. Honestly, there are times at work I wish I could just have a laptop and be doing it. It's like, I'm like, these are hours that are just passing by that I could be. But partly, honestly, for me, is because I'm kind of a completionist. I want to be able to have everything going into like the next content update, but also I want to be able to make build guides and more like, there's a reason I haven't done my character based guides. I've played them all, but I want to play them all at 30 and like with max echoes. I feel like I can do my beginner guides based off of just their toolkits, but I would really like to dive into how they feel at 30. And so I have been doing it now. To your point about it being this long, absolutely, I'm shocked, and that's why every day I'm like, wow, it's still here. Because I do feel like this is when they put the XP buffs in. I'm under the assumption that this is all testing for XP gains when they go to free to play. Like I'm under the assumption they're trying to find the right spot and data to collect for how fast are players going to level, how fast are they going to be able to get from 1 to 30 and all these characters. So with this being out and like so many people, really just doing it, it's unless they already have the data they need, I feel like they're missing out on. We're just bypassing a lot of things that they really could be gauging. Oh, okay, 4K for a boss is fine, or maybe we need more, or maybe we need less. And so, I'm shocked it hasn't been hotfixed. Every day I get back and I'm figuring it's going to be hotfixed, and it's not.
I'm like, oh, it still works. Okay.
Yeah. So I have been using it. I'm sorry. When it's hotfixed, I'll probably go to Beastmaster for a bit. So.
Well, that's the other argument for it. Like, if you're not doing it on Ryvn, you can do it in Beastmaster, right? But I guess Beastmaster is a bit different because it's very different because it's going to be legit. But
you're fighting the fight.
You're fighting the fight. But the thing is, like, if you have like Ven, right? I think me, Tom, and like another guild member did it. I bought my Ven like level 30, critted out, and then I can like kill it in like 10-20 seconds, right? And then while I might not get experience, the other two are getting experience, right? So like it kind of works. It kind of works the same. And like I'm getting my masteries or whatever, because like a Vent dagger build like destroys the Beastmaster. It's disgusting. Oh my god.
10 times I've done this lesson. 10 times was I wanted to try it. I'd seen Tempter and I was like, okay, let's give it a go. Okay, and then it was so to clarify. Actually, no, I need to give some backstory to this as well. So originally my stance was I was actually against it. Okay,
Mm.
because of the shitstorm that's going to be causing players soon, where they'll be like, "Oh, I've got nothing else to do." Well,
Yeah,
you
true.
kind of brought that upon yourself, buddy.
True.
But at the same time, I'm okay standing there in the instance, not exploiting. By the way, not exploiting. I'm just standing there. I've just entered a dungeon. I'm okay
Oh.
standing there with a pre-made group.
Oh, yeah.
I'll clarify that pre-made group before everyone goes, "Oh,
Mm.
you're getting carried." No, no. Pre-made group.
Mm.
I'm okay standing there and getting free XP.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not exploiting. I'm standing there.
Oh my god. Atlantis, please
But
help me out, man. Like, I can't deal with this. The whole guild can't
No,
deal with this.
Tom's he logged into the zone and then went to get a
Oh,
drink. He can't help it's done by the
and
time he gets
I
back.
know.
and then he just gets a character level
And
30
if
by the time
those
he gets
guys
back.
wanted to re-queue 100 times, who am I to reject that free XP?
Yeah, no, I think we can all agree though. Like,
I
it is
told
getting a
you I
bit
was
much.
coming at this with a copium pill, okay? And this is how I'm dealing with it.
Yeah, but I really am. I
Oh,
am really surprised that it wasn't hotfixed
yeah.
really quickly. To be honest, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
like, to be fair, there should have been hotfix ASAP.
Mm.
And I'm not just saying that because loads of people benefited. At the end of
Mm.
the day, it's taken
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say some enjoyment because I can't like leveling
Mm.
Senjo is not enjoyable.
Like, that's
But
what I
it
mean. Like, I
has
think it was
taken some fun out of it.
Mm.
Like I
Like, I
might
think
have got
initially
more
when it.
attached to different characters more if I actually had
Mm.
got more of an effort in, like I did with the others, where that kind of
Yeah.
misses. Everyone right now is banging their characters level 30, level 30, level 30.
Mm.
But you miss out. How do you actually play them fucking properly?
Right.
Mm.
Like
It's gonna be
you don't have that struggle.
there's gonna be a lot of
Mm.
people when it's fixed. They get on their 30, go hollow heart, and die all the time
And
because
die
they have no.
100%. They don't know how to play the character.
It's like that right now on their mains, let alone with
True,
ults.
true.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, there is, like, I like to split it up. There's definitely a learning curve. Like, your level 1 to 10 is like learning your character, and then like level 10 to like 22 is like you like kind of learning the basic mechanics, and like you're figuring out like what combos, what type of builds you want to do. And then from like level 22 to like 27 is like your final build, what echoes you want. And then 27 to 30 is just like, you're just trying to min-max and stuff. But I think there is like.
I was just about to say I'd also like to clarify this one thing, okay? Do you
Mm.
remember I said this to Atlantis earlier, so I'm gonna say it to you, Wolf, and to everyone listening. The XP nerf and the book.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alright,
Do
let's
you
go.
remember I just
Yeah.
started touching those books after everyone had done it and they nerfed it? All I'm gonna say is this is
Mm.
payback, okay? I got my tunes level.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I think it was fine till like Monday or Tuesday, because there was genuinely like we put in so much work, and we were so XP like starved because of like just like low XP like before. So having like 3-4 days of like this free reign of like just getting the XP we kind of deserved, to be honest, it was really nice, and it was
Dude,
genuinely fun. Like, it was like the first couple of days, we were just on voice chat, just laughing.
Did you just say you were XP starved? Did you touch those books? Did you touch those books? Because I
No.
sure didn't.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
literally
completely.
collected pages, handed it in once, nerfed, boom.
we could
Yeah.
propose a trade for
Mm.
Ryvn hotfix for the Books of Shadows and all those books back
Yeah.
with the
Book
XP
stats. Yeah,
gains.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
You know what's funny, right? Is they nerfed that because it was too much XP, and here we have a Ryvn,
Yeah.
and it's even faster.
Mm,
Yep.
exactly.
Even faster, and you know the best thing of all, less effort.
Mm.
Yep.
Less
That's
effort,
true.
yeah.
That's
You
true.
could just have your guildies.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no. So I'm hoping there's a hotfix coming in very soon. Otherwise, yeah. Oh boy, here's all I'm gonna say. Hope you had fun.
Oh yeah. No, thank you guys for
Uh,
having me. This was a lot of
yeah,
fun. Definitely excited to talk about it, and
yeah.
definitely look forward to joining you guys again.
No, we'd be so happy to
Yeah.
have you back as well. I think
Well,
this is such a fun thing to do.
I think
yeah.
Wolf's definitely excited you're now part of the Discord. You know, he gets to contact you.
No, you guys have been
There you
awesome.
go,
I appreciate
There you
it.
go. So for you guys listening, if you've made it this far,
Yeah.
so what I'm going to do is the same that I've done for Tempto and everyone else that came on, and that's actively posting Wayfinder content. You don't have to be part of the guild. So you're going to find Atlantis in the description of this video, and he's also going to be going up on our YouTube channel under the link section where you find everyone else. So there you'll find like Tempter. You'll now find Atlantis, Dev, Ixuki, and stuff like that. So for those of you that want to get involved with him, go check that out. Go check out his
Please
content.
check his videos out. They're really, really good.
Oh, thank you.
And I think with that, like again, thanks for coming on, Atlantis, and sorry it
Yeah, you got it.
I think the
glad.
next one we'll try and do, Wolf, is at some point when the stars align, is Atlantis and Tempter.
Yeah, I think that'll be a really fun.
Tempter's awesome. Yeah, he's a blast
really
too.
good. Yeah.
Don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it, like, yes.
Smash that like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe to Atlantis if you haven't already. We'll all catch you in the next video.
Next week.
See you guys.
See you.